Greetings. It's Pastor Keith Witherspoon from the Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church, South Bend, Indiana. This is a day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Remember, it is your choice to rejoice. Just wanted to jump on real quick and share a snippet from my sermon on Sunday that might serve to uplift somebody, might serve to encourage somebody, or maybe you can share it with somebody who's not having that great of a day. The text said in Psalm 46, just verse 1, it says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. We took from that point to say God is our security. God is the safe place for the believer. He's a place of hope. He's a place of trust. He's a place where we can go and be safe. The Bible teaches us in another area that the name of the Lord is a strong tower where the righteous run to it and are safe. Listen, the first thing I want to let you know about this text is the reason you can find security in God is because God is selfless. Look at what the text says. It says God is our refuge, which means he's big enough to look out for me, you, and everybody else at the same time. And I'm glad today that we serve a God who is no respecter of persons. We serve a God who does not put us in line according to social, economic, or financial status, but he puts us in line according to purpose. He puts us in line according to his plan for our lives. And just because I don't have this, don't mean God can't bless me, because he's our God, which means while he's working it out for you, he hasn't forgotten about me, which means while he's healing somebody else, he hasn't forgotten about any of his other children, because he's our God. What a privilege we have that we can call him our Father. Not only is God selfless, but we also took from the text that God is our shelter. It said God is our refuge. That word refuge means a place of trust. It's a place we can put our trust in. In the Bible days, they were familiar with a place called the City of Refuge. The City of Refuge was a city, had very high walls, had watchtowers facing every direction. And they would look out the watchtower and they would see if somebody was running toward them. And if somebody was running toward them and somebody was chasing them, they would open up the gates and that person could run in and be safe. Didn't matter what they had done. Didn't matter whether they were guilty or innocent. Did not matter their background. If they could just make it to the City of Refuge, they could find relief from whatever was bothering them. And I don't know how you feel about it today, but that sounds a whole lot like my God. He does not look back at my resume. He don't look back at my FICO score. He don't look back at any of that stuff. When I need him, I can call him. When I need him, I can run to him. When I need him, he's there with his arms wide open, ready to receive me. My grandmama would hear, she say, baby, he's a shelter in the time of a storm. Anybody know that God will shelter you? He'll take care of you. He'll cover you with his love. He's selfless. He's sheltered. Not only that, he's our supply. Look at what the text says. It says God is our refuge and strength. So while he's providing us shelter, he's supplying us with strength as well. And there have been times, I know in my life, and maybe in some of your lives, where you've sought shelter but didn't receive strength. You tried to hide in places and find shelter and security in places that could not strengthen you to go on once you left that place. But God is not only our shelter, he's also our supply. And that supply means he's a continual supply of strength. So whenever I run low, I can go to God. The Bible says they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They'll mount up with wings like eagles. They'll run and not be weary. They'll walk and not faint. That word renew strength, it literally means to exchange. So when you give God your weakness, he gives you his strength. When you give God your tiredness, he gives you his strength. When you give God your willingness to just give up, he gives you his strength because he is our supply. And lastly, not only is God selfless, Not only is God our shelter, not only is God our supply, but God is our support. Look at what the text says. He's our refuge and strength and a very present help in trouble. He is a help that is present. He is a help that is at hand, and he is a help that is sufficient. Long before I knew I was going to be in trouble, God already had the answer because he's a very present help. God don't wait till you get into trouble to figure out what he's going to do about your situation. He already knows what he's going to do. He has an answer before you have an agony. He has an answer before you have an ailment. He has a balm before you have a bruise. Our God is our support. And to be supported by a God who made the whole world, to be supported by a God who cannot fail, who being supported by a God who cannot lie, being supported by a God whom you can put all of your trust in, should bring us all some encouragement today. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Again, this is Pastor Witherspoon from Bethlehem Missionary Baptist Church here in South Bend, Indiana. Just wanted to drop an encouraging word on you today. Wherever you may be, you can find your security in God. Peace.